Welcome back to the Clean Titans channel, where we explore the cutting edge of clean energy, sustainability, and the minds driving the change. Today, we are pleased to have a very special guest, Heron Ho, Managing Director of Full Vision Capital. Welcome to the show. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your background and how you became interested in clean technology.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much for having me on the podcast. It's very great to be here. I'm Heron, as you introduced, Managing Director at Blue Vision Capital and also the Chief Organizer of the TERA-Award. Well, about myself, I have spent the last 20 years in venture capital and private equities. And for the last 10 years, I have been the founding member of Blue Vision Capital, focusing on venture investment and leading the TERA-Award organization now.
We're thrilled to have you. Full Vision Capital is making waves in the smart energy and environmental tech space, and we're eager to delve into the investment philosophy and your connection to the prestigious Clean Tech Terra Award. For our audience who may not be familiar, could you give us a brief overview of Full Vision Capital and its mission?
Absolutely. Well, Blue Vision Capital is based in Hong Kong and is the private family office arm of Dr. Peter Lee, the chairman of Henderson Land Group and the Hong Kong and China Gas Company, and which is commonly known as Towngas. So Full Vision was founded with a mission inspired by Peter's philosophy. We doing well, good. So all of us in Full Vision follow a dual KPI approach. Firstly, we focus on both strong financial returns. This is what we do investment for, right? And more important, we aim for meaningful positive impacts to the world. Our investment success also benefits Peter's charity foundation, which the foundation funds life-saving heart surgeries for children in China. So over the past decade, we have very proud that to have saved over 60,000 lives through this initiative. It's very meaningful. And in Blue Vision Capital, our investment span globally with a focus on the 0 to 1 incubation. So we invest in early stage startup cutting edge technology company and then help them to become unicorn, which is our second stage, 1 to N. So Towngas is our affiliate company. So with Towngas as a strategic ecosystem, our portfolio has already reached a total market value of over 6 billion US dollar. And for the portfolio company, we help them raise over 2 billion in capital. And that established us to be a leading green incubator in the region. So Full Vision worked closely with Towngas and Henderson. And Towngas is a company gas utility in Hong Kong with over 160 years history. So it's one of the leading energy providers in Asia. And our goal is to drive a green transition and build a more sustainable future. So we also want to replicate our success and incubate more green unicorns. And that's where we have a TERA-Award, and it is a very good initiative.
So, full vision capital isn't just about financial returns, which
Yeah.
of course it has to focus on, but you're clearly driven by a mission. Can you elaborate on the core values that guide your investment decisions? What sets Full Vision apart from other investment firms in the clean energy sector?
Okay. Very quick. In fact, our core value or our investment strategy set us apart from other investors in the green tech. First and foremost, we believe today the time for purely financial investment is over. We cannot be just a financial investor, pure passively invest in any kind of technology venture. At Full Vision Capital, we take a highly hands-on approach. We keep our hands dirty. We grow, we work, and we manage the companies with the startup founders like fellow entrepreneurships. We help them, but also we manage the company and grow with them. So what kinds of value creation service we can provide? For some energy startup, we accelerate their proof of concept and drive their strategy for go-to-market with our expertise network with Towngas and other energy partners. We involved in every critical stage of the growth, like setting up the manufacturing facilities and help them to deploy their commercial strategies and assembling strong management teams. And more importantly, we help them raise capital. So we support these technology founders from every step of their way. Secondly, about our investment focus or our radar, how to identify the groundbreaking technology. We see the green energy in two distinct categories. In layman terms, molecules and electrons. So very physics and chemistry, right? So you know before our EV, so many green tech investors focus mainly on electrons, which means maybe the EV, electric vehicles, battery, solar, wind power. We recognize that the world, in fact, still has a heavy reliance on the burning of fuels, and it has been doing this for over 20 years. The market, the whole industry takes time to drive the transformation. So renewable molecules, our molecule strategy means being a low carbon or zero carbon alternative to fossil fuels. And it can significantly reduce the harmful emissions, carbon emissions. It plays a very critical role. For example, our molecule strategies covers alternative fuels such as the sustainable aviation fuel, the green methanol, hydrogen, and also the carbon capture. So the demand for this molecule-based solution remains very, very significant, urgent. Yeah, and also the electrons. So electron, we focus on the electricity generation, storage, transmission, and distribution. As you know, Towngas is a gas company, but we cover a lot more than the gas supply. With the Towngas large network of 40 million households in Greater China, we also focus on smart energy integrated solutions. For example, our platform generates over 2 gigawatt of rooftop solar power and developed over 100 zero carbon smart zone. And this is a perfect testbed for the next generation renewables energy storage, and we call it the electron strategy. So we aim to invest in this technology to address the challenge of the industry pain points in long term. So in summary, our core value with our active hands-on investment and unique electrons and molecule technology radar strategy set us apart from other investors in the green energy space.
The report recently that in the US, climate change is going to cause $1.5 trillion of home values to evaporate. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of industrial processes besides mobility, the home front, or renewable energy for electricity. There's a lot of industrial processes for making things that also need to be decarbonized. So tell me about one company that, give me an example of a company in your portfolio that you're working with that is having a great impact.
Okay, sure. I mentioned one company which is really from Towngas, from zero, incubated from Towngas ecosystem. It is our molecule company called EcoCyrus. EcoCyrus is in fact a in-house technology from the R&D technology team of Towngas. But now it becomes a recognized world leader of sustainable aviation fuel producer, holding over 20% of global market shares. It sells the product internationally to many countries in the world. So it's a company, we built it from scratch, and Full Vision Capital creates value in the management and go-to-market strategy and also fundraising. So after spinning off from Towngas, the company, we further raised over 800 million from strategic investors like Bain Capital and Kerogen Capital. And this year, EcoCyrus has set to open its second production plant in Malaysia. So it's further increasing its production capacity and strengthen its strategic move to the world with a green molecule solution provider. Another example I can also mention is about Electron. If you don't mind, I can tell you another very standout company which is called EnerVenue. EnerVenue is a company also we built it from zero. As one of the founders, Full Vision incubate this from Stanford. It's a liquid hydrogen battery technology. The technology originally developed for space satellites. It's co-founded by Professor Cui Yi and also Full Vision. And the company has become a very, very promising solutions provider, and it provides the safest, more durable, non-lithium battery solutions for commercial use. And it has well-known investors such as Saudi Aramco. The company has the headquarters and R&D center based in US, and Full Vision Capital also helped the company extend the supply chain manufacturing plants in China for its full-speed commercialization pathway. So it's very, very exciting.
Excellent. Many of our viewers are interested in the future of clean energy investments. What are some of the most promising areas you see for growth and innovation in the next 5 to 10 years? Where are you focusing your investments?
Yeah. Many VC, many corporate ventures in the energy sector, they focus on a really, really large range of the technology and solutions. I think to look at this sector, I will classify two major streams. One is the energy source, and then we also have to consider the application side. So I see, as I mentioned, we have the molecule and electron strategy. So from there, for the molecule side, we like green hydrogen and green methanol and sustainable fuels. The main reason is to decarbonize the hard-to-abate sectors such as aviation, shipping, marine, this transportation. This is difficult to adopt, like or the solar energy to provide the energy and power for this sector. It's very difficult to change. So green hydrogen is the key for this sector. And then about electron, I think the energy system, which combine renewables and energy storage, advanced grid optimization. So it is also very, very key to have all these combined together to replace the traditional power generations and transmission. So beyond the traditional lithium batteries, we are excited about the next generation battery storage technologies like flow batteries and others, which provide a safer, more durable solutions. And today, everyone talk about AI, right? It's the hottest and the most disruptive technology invention in could be the next decades across all sectors. And AI, god of energy, a huge amount in the future. So we also will keep an eye at its related use cases, such as the energy efficiency in AI data centers. So all these are, I think, the promising areas that we see a good potential for our investment. And ultimately, the key for the technology founders and scientists is to tackle the right questions. The biggest pain points in the energy ecosystem is the key. So their innovations will be the answers.
True. They say AI is like electricity, it'll change everything, but it will need a lot of electricity to change everything.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears and talk about the TERA-Award. And before we go there, let's take a look at a short video. Full Vision Capital and Towngas are involved with this important initiative. Can you explain the significance of the TERA-Award and its role in fostering innovation in the clean energy sector?
Okay. Well, I think the climate crisis is one of the world's biggest challenge of our time. Everybody knows global warming, rising temperature, carbon emissions, and also other environmental problems. We want a clean energy to transform the world, and we need to take action. And every country have their goal of carbon neutrality, and China set the goals to achieve that by 2060. It's a bold step. So we all need to take these actions to do more. And TerraWatt is our answer. And the competition has initially launched 5 years ago, founded by our chairman, Dr. Peter Lee, because he wants to solve the climate problem. But we need more power. We cannot do this by ourselves. So we collaborate, more powers, more support, and especially the innovations. So we gather the innovators, scientists, and also the other energy industry player to work together and find out the answers to questions of how can we tackle the bigger challenge in the world. Also, we also our success of EcoCyrus and EnerVenue, this successful story to create more green unicorns. So now TerraWatt is the four additions, and I take the honor to be the chief organizers of this meaningful platform. And so far, we have already received more than 1,000 applications over the 4 years from over 60 countries. It's a very,
Wow.
very important initiative, both Towngas, Full Visions, and us. TerraWatt is more than just a global competition for smart energy inventors. It's like a platform. It's like a super connectors to connect the scientists, engineers, venture capitals, and also the industry players. So the participants in Terra Award, of course, they aim for the award, the recognitions, and the cash prize of $1 million for the gold prize. But more importantly, I think the startups can get a chance to join the Towngas energy innovation system, what we call our Towngas Green Sandbox. Our Towngas has a long history in Hong Kong and Greater China. We have over 160 years of experience and asset in the energy space. And we can bring the startups, the technology to the real world applications in China and beyond. For technology, I think many founders and many scientists, they understand that energy is a very, very unique space. We need a safe and a powerful infrastructure players to help them to go to market. And before that, they need to test the safety, different country with the policy, and also the whole ecosystem food chain has different kinds of use cases and the real demand. And this demand becomes the questions, and the technology is the answer. They cannot just do it in the lab. Even they have a proof of concept product in the lab, they need a platform, a launch pad, I would say, to test and also to support the deployment to the market. So Terra, what is the answer? The winners, or maybe our community, the startups, they can test with our Towngas sandbox and the real with a world use cases. This is a very, very important opportunities. We share the know-hows, and also we can even help them to accelerate the supply chain, the cost down strategy with our resources in China and Hong Kong. So it's a very important initiative for the green energy innovation. So Towngas provide the platform and strength, while the startups bring us the idea. We are the muscles, and they are the.
You mentioned a few of the specific roles that you're playing in the Terra Award. Uh, are you sponsors, the judges, and you also mentor and incubate the startups? How are you contributing to their success?
Well, in fact, over the past few years, Towngas is the host of TERA-Award. We are, the sponsor for meaningful competition. And Fruition Capital, because we work with the same team, we have the incubations and investment power to help them, to help the startup do the acceleration to commercialization. But in fact, we work with other supporting organizations and parties, such as the judge panels. We invite the scholars, the scientists to become our independent judges and provides their advice and share experience and visions to our TERA-Award participants. About the sponsor and also the supporting organization, we work in Hong Kong, China, and also internationally with other accelerators and also energy companies to make our sandbox even more extensive, not just in Greater China, but also internationally to Europe, US, and Southeast Asia. So you can consider Terra Award is a super connecting hub to gather the industry players, of the investors, also the startups, and we do the scouting with some energy organization. So we build this platform together. And of course, we should play a very, very critical role because we, as I mentioned, our investment philosophy, we don't just invest. We work hand in hand with the startups. We are the entrepreneurship empowering entrepreneurs. So we test idea, develop POC, and then backed by Towngas. We have very good relationship and collaborations with Octopus Energy, for example, in UK, and that help the startups in Europe, but also we can help replicate our success like EnerVenue to build up all the supply chain and go to market strategy in Asia. So this is something what we want to position TerraWatch as a launch pad for global startups as a good connector. About the investor side, we have Bain Capital, we have Aramco Ventures, we have IDG, Kirogens to support the startups from 0 to 1 and then 1 to N. These all kind of different stages of investment. But more importantly, alongside with the startup, we can share with our lessons that we've learned over the last decade to grow and build a lot of startups, these ventures, all the bumpy roads as a startup. And we share experience with the founders, how to tackle the challenge, how to handle the setbacks to avoid repeating in their journey. These lessons can help the startup to avoid those mistakes and create a unique acceleration pathways. This is very, very important. We experience all from the management, from fundraising, from testing, and how to bring the cost down and how to build a very robust supply chain and manufacturing capacity, how to go to market. So all these experience we share with them, not just mentoring, not just help them to accelerating, not to help them do some fundraising pitch them, not that easy. Share with them our experience to how to build a company and how to tackle problems.
So you're similar to like the B Combinator in Silicon Valley. You're the incubator for clean energy companies.
Yeah, you're right. But I would think, yeah, we're green incubator, but we're backed by a sandbox, which is our very unique and irreplaceable opportunities for the startups to test and adopt in our ecosystem. As I mentioned, energy is not an easy game. They need to have some big supports to do the commercialization, especially the safety and also the narrow application testing and adoption.
So what are the some of the key criteria look for in companies or startups and projects that are worthy of receiving this prestigious award? What makes the project stand out for you?
Okay, very good questions. And if I would say the most important is the innovation, because as I mentioned, we aim for seeking the groundbreaking, the cutting edge technology to address the problem in the world. So innovation is very important. And this year, we focus on 6 critical areas of the energy, the climate technology. The 6 areas includes renewables, energy storage, carbon capture, green fuels and hydrogen, intelligent energy systems such as the smart grid and AI use, how to make the energy efficiency. And the last one is about the smart city, like the green urbanizations and the home use of the smart green energy applications. So all these areas not only represent the challenges of the climate problem, but also the opportunities we are facing today. So about the judging criteria, we aim for the groundbreaking ideas, but also we focus on the commercialization and feasibility potential. It's very important because a lot of inventions or a lot of innovations, they focus on solving a problem maybe 20 years later, and it's too far from the stage of commercialization. It's not enough. For startups, for the and research, we want the technology can be used and can be address the problem with good, affordable solutions in near futures. And also, another criteria for TERA-Award, we encourage and support the startups. Or in other words, the company is not open to large or established energy companies. So I'm sorry, Tesla, Nvidia, or Towngas, we ourselves are not eligible to for the competitions. So we support the projects from startups, entrepreneurs, or even some research groups in universities. This is the objective of TERA-Award. So about the product and about the technology, it must feature original designs and patents with promising commercial value. And having said that, the projects should be ready for scaling because we want to have our partners and then also Towngas support to help them to scale up with a good potential and also to go to market and help the world to solve the climate problem.
Yes, it's absolutely important for the diffusion of innovation, not just the innovation itself, because unless the innovation diffuses through the industry, through the society, through down to everyday people, it's not going to have a major impact. Can you share any insights into past Terra Award winners or finalists that have particularly impressed you and why?
I impressive past winner in the second editions, and I can tell you why I feel it very impressive. It's a company called Luquos Energy. It's originally in Hong Kong, and it's a company designs long duration energy storage, and its features is very safe, long cycle life, and low cost flow battery technology. So its technology is very groundbreaking game changer. Flow battery is not something new, but a sulfur-based flow battery offer a ultra safe and more sustainable alternative to the lithium ion battery and vanadium flow batteries. Because those materials are face safety and resources constraint. And this company, the sulfur-based flow battery, the materials are very abundant, which means low cost, and it is water-based electrolyte. So it's very safe, non-flammable, and highly scalable. So that company, Luquos Energy, when they joined a TERA-Award years ago, there's still a small team of engineers working in the lab. And after winning the awards, not only bringing them to a global recognitions, but also secure the strategic investment from Towngas. And Full Vision Capital and Towngas accelerates their commercial path just in 2 years. They have already defined their go-to-market strategy with us, and we help them to hire and expand the team. And they deploy their commercial pilot a EV charging stations in Shenzhen of China. And that pilot has been operating successfully for over half a year. And going ahead, Lucas Energy is expanding over Greater China and to the overseas. They have already have a footprint in Middle East, collaborating with Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to explore the safe and reliable energy storage solutions. So this innovation has earned Lucas Energy among the top 20 flow battery startups in the world this year. So it's very, very interesting and impressive project.
Wow, that's great. I was going to ask you, my next question was going to be about one that has had commercial success. So you kind of answered that question. So this flow battery for long-term storage, or is it what's the time duration? And is it feasible for some of these large-scale storage systems
Yeah,
that are being.
energy storage basically can be used in your device and home use. But of course, another big and even the largest demand is in the power grid to support the renewables. Consider you have a power bank and in the solar plant. This power bank is not just a small device. It's talking about a huge cargo box. This storage safety very important, and it is infrastructure. A long duration, long life cycle is very important, and other technology cannot completely resolve this problem. So about the commercial success, this technology must be affordable and also safe and reliable. So I believe Lucas Energy can achieve a commercial full success after it has scaled up their capacity, and it can be a very great game changer in the world. And can also mention another example, which is already has a very, very promising commercial track record success after 2 years. It's a company called I2Cool. It's also, the gold winner in the last year award. The I2Cools, they have a very, very interesting technology. It's an innovative planes coating technology funded by the research team of the School of Energy and Environment at the City University of Hong Kong. They are the gold prize winner last year. Receiving also the strategic investment of Towngas, we have helped them to accelerate their commercialization. Now they have already deployed over 200 projects in 29 countries and regions. And they also have a successful track record to close their Series A funding last year. And they have a very iconic project used in the buildings like the Dubai Mall and Hong Kong Coliseum. They are now expanding the product categories of their cooling technology coating, not just for buildings, but also for textile, the film and ceramics and membranes and more. So as you know, this kind of innovations is not directly related to also this helps the energy because it saves for example, the solar plant and also data center. These generate heat and they address the problem. And but also the very important the commercial pathway is very and rapid. They can achieve the very very promising commercial use case and deploy it with effort. I look forward to seeing a bigger success of going forward. Very impressive.
So is it like something that goes into cooling tech can be like a paint for buildings as well as for surfaces for like you mentioned data centers, then they have to dissipate the heat and solar panels. If you can cool them a little bit, they will work better. So you apply them on top of solar panels and buildings, or how does that work?
Okay, I cannot answer you these questions. Maybe we can let's arrange ITQ, their founders and their scientists to tell you about how properly use of their technology and the technology principle behind. But I just in cooling is very important because device generate heat, and we to deal with the temperature, global warming, but also we have the air conditioning to create the same kind of heat to the world. But this kind of coating the technology can efficiently manage the temperature of many devices, like building or even, as I mentioned, the use case in textile. So it's very innovative and it helps to resolve, the heat and warming problem. So
Yeah, that
for
helps.
a lot of applications,
Yeah.
and yeah, very technical, and I can have the CTO have a longer discussion with you. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, bad. Looking ahead, what are the biggest challenges and opportunities facing the clean energy sector? What needs to happen to accelerate the transition to a sustainable energy future?
Okay. It is a very big questions, and I think a lot of investor companies and even the policy maker need a good answer to these questions, right? So first of all, you asked me about the biggest challenges and opportunities facing the clean energy sectors. I think it's more than just a questions about clean or not, or clean or green, right? So the industry and policymakers, they have a so-called energy trilemma model to describe the three biggest challenges that all countries facing trying to provide and supply the energy to their people, to the populations. Think about there's a two-way to balance, several factors or several problems. Okay, what are those? Is energy security, which means a country or the infrastructure, the utility companies, they have to make sure there's a sufficient enough energy available at all time. It's about the safety, about the reliability, because energy is very key to all population, right? It's unavoidable. Second, the factors we need to balance is the affordability. We need to keep the price low enough and fair for homes and commercial use. So let's take an example. Power plant is not many energy is expensive. It didn't hit the price parity. So affordability that time make a solar energy not very easy to adopt unless you have a very good subsidy. And another example about the EV, the vehicles, maybe we need super fast charging. However, the supercharged charging is very expensive. So how to balance the affordability? And the last point, just to address your question, is the sustainability. We all understand the fossil fuel, maybe the coal, is the cheapest energy source, but we need to produce energy without harming the planet. And also, the sustainability and the environmental problem is a key considerations to the world. So what is the biggest challenges here? Because when the innovator or the scientist or we, the energy operator, like Towngas, when we improve at just one, like security, sometimes you need to sacrifice the other factor. Improving one often makes the others harder. So that means, the challenges for, the clean energy sectors, opportunities for one major hurdle. If we resolve that problem, we can create the opportunities. But as an energy operator, I also mentioned the major hurdle is how to scale up the infrastructure. Like if you have a EV, if you do not have a good usability, so that means we need the infrastructure built enough supply for the new technology and takes time. And also about the supply side, we need to upgrade to handle more renewables. Wind power is not a new invention, is of years. But if we have the efficient, the bottleneck is how to use wind power in the urban area, but have a power grid and to make sure the efficiency of the transmission. This is the challenges that we have. So to resolve all these problems, we need the industry player and also the policy maker to support. And as I mentioned before, there's a massive potential in some new technologies like better energy storage and green fuels. It can clean up the industry, especially very heavy energy consumption industry like shipping and aviation. To this up, we need the policymaker, governments, and also the business side to work together to support this clean energy source and adoption. And the key is how to make the renewable energy easier, cheaper, and more reliable for everyone.
Right. And there's lots of points in the entire supply chain where you can solve problems and grease the wheel and make the entire system less expensive, all the way down to the end user. That's the key, right? You have to
Yeah,
get the energy widely available to the end user. And there's lots of points where you can innovate and improve the whole system. Like solar has become so cheap now. It's like 1 to 3 cents at the large plant scale, which is cheaper than anything else, which is incredible.
but
Right.
it's not always available and reliable. That
Right.
means we
That's the
need
key.
the energy storage. With a good, cheap energy storage technology, with wind and power, then it means we can have the most reliable the energy source and clean. But we still need the technology and everything to drive. The infrastructure is a very key important factor.
Right. Right. Yeah. You need to have those flow batteries for terms for all night, and then you still need some other technologies for like multiple day. If there's cloudy and rainy for many, then you still need some solution for those. So for our viewers who are in getting involved in the clean energy space, whether as investors, entrepreneurs, or advocates, what advice would you give them?
Okay, well, for anyone feel interested or looking to use or and to deploy the clean energy, the first step is to find your focus because the green energy, the alternative energy, and the climate technology is very fast. It covers solar, renewables, battery, hydrogen, sustainable fuels, smart grid, the application and how to use the AI to make the energy transmissions and management. Many areas that you can cover. But the most important to identify what excites you the most and where your skills and resources can fit it the best. For investors such as ourselves, we look beyond the short-term return, but we focus on the impact. The long-term impact support a sustainable, the success for companies to resolve the real challenge, to stand the questions or maybe the pain points. For example, we mentioned the energy storage and decarbonize a heavy transportation industry. So we need to have our investment be ready for the long haul. This is the advice to investors. For the startup or entrepreneurs or the business owner, they need to prioritize their products to provide a scalable solutions to commercialize. We cannot, just put a lot of time and resources to build something for only a small use case or to resolve a small problem with big capital. They need to prioritize the scalability and provide a product roadmap to improve their efficiencies of the manufacturing, cutting overall the cost, and have a very productive and efficient supply chain and we fix the gaps. Energy in the end is turned to a layman product. Cost is very important. And for advocates, education is the key. We need to help all people understand why clean energy matters, especially for our next generation, our children's, and all the humankind in futures, and push for the policy that drive innovation, change, and also the adoptions. So more importantly, collaboration is we need to collaborate everything, work with the right people, share ideas, and stay connected. And in other words, join us, join TERA-Award. We are the platform to collaborate together. Of big advice, right?
So, what's your favorite renewable energy source?
My favorites, well, my favorites my personal preference, I would say green hydrogen chemistry. Green hydrogen, burning it, no carbons can be produced. Hydrogen is the missing puzzle piece in green energy transition. Unlike solar and wind, depend on weather, right? But in fact, I like solar and wind because the infrastructure is very beautiful. I wind farm, I like the solar farm. It makes the environment not only green but also beautiful. But hydrogen is very reliable and very stable, right? So it can store for months and can use anytime, and it has the potential to decarbonize the industry, heavy transport, and even aviation if the technology is ready. And nowadays, Towngas is also a pioneer in the hydrogen use. So we have a lot of hydrogen related projects. And now in Hong Kong, we sell the gas, we distribute the gas. Half of this gas are hydrogen. And you can imagine hydrogen can easily deployed with the existing natural gas pipe, right? So the infrastructure can be used very easily and it can replace the fossil fuels in ways. So hydrogen is my favorite.
If you can find cheap and a way to make renewables like
Yes.
electrolysis or something, right?
Yes.
So if you could solve one climate challenge overnight, what would it be?
I will consider energy storage because all energy comes from the sun. Then also the wind power, the tidal, hydro power is unlimited. But we cannot use it and transmit it in the most efficient way because of the constraint. But with a disruptive technology to tackle this challenge, energy storage is the answer. We can instantly develop ultra cheap, long duration batteries if we can. And we can also scale up, as I mentioned, the hydrogen production and storage. And we can power up the world renewables technology 24/7, right? Unlimited, lit of fossil fuels entirely. So energy storage is a very, very key challenge.
Who inspires you the most in the clean space?
Well, who? You mean to name a person, right? I would say, yeah, Tony Stark's the Iron Man. Have you seen his the superheroes in Marvels,
Mm,
right? Tony
yeah.
Stark.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, whenever I think the future of or technology, I think about Iron Man because Iron Man didn't wait for fossil fuels, and he built a mini nuclear reactor in his chest, right? Because if you remember the narratives in the movie, his opponent, the bad guys, can also build a big robot, the Iron Man shoots armor. But the art reactor like this can drive, and this is the key. And he has an Iron Man. He created art reactor and he no worry about battery storage. And if we have that kind of technology, we can solve a lot of problems. We don't have to stick with a scale up or renewable hydrogen. But of course, this is a movie. I guess we'll have a long, long time to reach that technology. But I also learned from Stark, we need capital, invest smartly. And we want to work as hard as him, make his hand dirty, think smartly, and build something with a big vision for the future. So this is inspired me a lot. But if you ask me, the greatest man in the real world energy innovation, of course, is Ben Franklin because he discovery of electricity with the light and lightning and electricity is a key transformation of human the energy use. Before that, only burn fires, you know, burning things like a coal, a wood, and oil. But it's the most uniform way to transmit, store, and transform in all applications. So we need this kind of breakthrough from the box. So energy could be generated, stored, and transmitted in many ways. So this kind of innovations really inspired myself to how I see, the technology of the energy space.
Well, also, if somebody can solve the problem of wirelessly charging everything, then that could be a game changer as well, right?
Yeah,
Where can our audience learn more about Full and the fourth Terra Award? We'll include the links to all of these in the description. But if you'd like to give us avenues, please go ahead.
yes, of course. For all our audience, if you want to learn more Full Vision Capital and the Terra Award, just go to our website, and I hope we will share the website here, and also follow us on LinkedIn and stay updated with our latest news. We continuously have a lot of webinars and also share our newsletters from LinkedIn. So I hope our audience and also especially the startups and also the investor can participate in Terra War and help us to resolve these climate problems together. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, this has been incredibly insightful conversation. Thank you much for sharing your expertise and passion with us in your valuable time.
Thank you very much, Harley.
And for our viewers, thank you for tuning in Titans channel. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and follow us for inspiring stories and insights and interviews from the world of clean energy. Until next time, stay charged up.